today's video I'm going to show you how to create a powerful stutter synth sound, just like the one from The Last Goodbye by Odesza. This effect adds incredible movement to your track and we'll be recreating it step by step using Omnisphere, but please feel free to follow along with your preferred synth. So let's check out the sound we'll be designing. So whether you're a music producer looking to expand your sound design skills or a fan of electronic music, this tutorial will give you the tools to nail that Odesza style stutter effect. I actually need to thank Michael Ford for the idea for this video, because he contacted me and asked if I could show how to recreate this sound within Omnisphere. So thanks to him, we have this tutorial. Alright, so let's dive in. First we'll start with initialize patch. So in Omnisphere, just need to click on utility, initialize patch, and that zeroes everything and sends you straight to the source square bright. What I want to do, because I want to keep the same signal path for the layers I'm going to use, I'm going to just change this normal to shared. And what I'm going to look at is changing this sawtooth here to a proper sawtooth, and I want an OB6, so an Oberheim 6 sawtooth, and I'm going to apply a filter, and I want a 24 low pass, warm one will do nicely, gives that nice dull sound to it, and sets the cutoff to about 0.143. There we go, and nudge the resonance just up a touch. 0.150 will do it, and we get a bit of a squelch to it now. So it's a nice foundation for our sound. In the amp envelope, I'm going to go for the classic of the attack at 0, decay at 0, release at 0, and sustain up full. And for the filter section, I want to bring everything to 0 apart from the depth, and we're going to set that to 0.88 seconds. So I want a very plucky sound, well, as close to 0.88 as going to get. That 0.89 will do nicely. Maybe take it down a touch. Too plucky. No, I want some more. Let's go 0.088. That's exactly what I want. So this is where the magic starts to happen. To achieve that sort of like signature stutter effect, you need to assign the LFO to the cutoff. So all I'm going to do is right click on cutoff and say modulate with LFO, and that will automatically map it to LFO1. And instead of this sine wave, I want to change this to a sawtooth. Here I was opening the cutoff there. And what I want to look at as well is make sure the sync's off, because I don't want to sync to tempo, because if I sync it to tempo, if you watch this now, it goes a lot slower because it's synced to 120 BPM. I want it free running, so if I take sync off, you see it's now controlled by this rate here, so if I move that faster, of course the cutoff opens and closes faster. So you're starting to get the idea of how this effect is going to be built. So if I move this to 2.57, that's just slightly. I'm going to take my finger off the trackpad, and there we go, 2.57, and we get this. So that's perfect for the start of a stutter effect. Now this is where the secret sauce lies, and this is in the modulating the rate. So what I'm going to do is assign, if I right click on this and say modulate, and I want to modulate all mod sources, mod envelope 4. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to use mod envelope 4 to modulate the rate, which will in turn modulate the cutoff. So if I go into mod envelope by clicking this, you see that little magnifying glass there, you can then go into this screen to sort of like edit a bit further and draw in your own shapes. Now what I want to do is, if I double click around about here, I get a little node that appears. I want to right click on that, curve one, and then curve one on here. And if I bring this up, and then click on the little bend here, and then you can move this into more of a slope, and we get this effect. Now I want to extend this end bit out, and to do that, if I just zoom out a touch, you can extend this as far as you want. So let's move that to 6. It's everything that's highlighted is the signal path for the envelope. So if I move that to, say, round about there, that should do it. Maybe a bit longer. Let's go for it. That'll do nicely. Now, what we're going to do is add some little extra texture to this by bringing in a noise envelope. Well, noise oscillator, sorry. And just that's all I've chosen. The only reason I've chosen layer D is because it comes in on initialized patch. It comes preset as a noise sort of like generator. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this down to around about 11.8, and I'm going to modulate the cutoff with LFO1, and I'm going to change that also to a 24 decibel. Where's it gone? Oh, past that, 124. So now that mod envelope we probably could do with making it even longer. So if I stretch that right out over here, so there we go. We're starting to get there, and you can tweak it even further by just moving this part as to how much of a stutter you want at the beginning. And then if I go into the effects section, we're going to wrap this up by adding some flame distortion, changing that to tube, and bringing that down to about 19% wet. Add some delay, keep everything as it is, and bring that down to about 16%, 14, 16, that'll do. Bit of reverb, and I'm going to bung that up to around about 13 will do nicely. And if we just play around with these now, and I think we are about there, we end up with this sound. And like I say, if you want to make that even longer, that sort of before it comes in again, all you need to do is really just extend this, and just makes it longer before the stutter repeats, and you get this. See what I mean? So you end up with this. I hope this sound design tutorial helped you recreate the Stutter synth from Odesza's The Last Goodbye. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all my future tutorials. You might also want to check out this other video on synth sound design. In the meantime, stay creative, stay sonic, catch you in the next one.